Tesla just revealed its playbook that can keep China's robot makers chasing for years. Here's how Elon planned it and where the moat actually is. Subscribe now, because once you see the patents, the chips, and the factory math, the 5-year plan starts to make a lot of sense. The master plan. Most people are looking at this completely the wrong way. They see China shipping more humanoids, more demos, more factories and headlands, and they assume that Tesla is behind. Just recently, China launched the GD01 robot by Unitree, and other robots have also been putting on airs about their achievements while proving that the age of humanoids is actually here. On raw volume right now, that is not even a crazy take. China is moving extremely fast, but Tesla is not trying to win the robot race the same way China is winning it. Tesla is not building our robot. Tesla is building our robot stack. That is the thing that sets everything apart, because if you strip away the hype and just look at what Tesla has been quietly putting in place, the strategy is actually very clear. The robot is only one layer. Underneath it, Tesla is building its custom chips, custom battery supplies, its own training infrastructure, the world AI pipeline, along with mechanical patterns and a manufacturing system for scale. That means moat is not one feature, it is a layered system, and that is exactly why it could become a 3 to 5 year problem for everyone who is trying to catch up. This is the part people keep missing. China can absolutely build impressive humanoids, and they can ship more units early. They have already been doing that, but if Tesla is right, the company with the deepest full-stack integration runs the long game, not the company with the cheapest demo, not the company with the coolest robot dance. The company that owns the body, brain, power source, computer, training group, and factory is the master plan here. Elon warned us. If you listen closely, Elon has already set this in the quietest way possible, yet it was the loudest thing ever. Tesla's AI page does not describe Optimus as some cute side experiment. It says that the goal is a general-purpose bipedal autonomous humanoid robot that is capable of doing unsafe repetitions or boring tasks, but the most important line is underneath that. Tesla says that getting the required capabilities for this requires the same software stacks for balance, navigation, perception, and even interaction with the real physics world. In other words, the company is not treating robots as a new industry. It is treating robots as another form factor of the same core intelligence engine it has already been building for years. That is the strategy here, because if your robot intelligence is being trained on top of the same culture, infrastructure, and engineering muscles that build your vehicle autonomy, you are not starting from scratch. You are transferring an entire internal operating system into a new body, which will work the same. Tesla won't just go on and hire a robot team and hope for the best. It is saying that they have already built an AI company inside a car company, and now they are just putting it in a humanoid. Musk's stance on China actually makes this even more interesting. Plus, he has already said that China will be Tesla's biggest competitor in human rights. This matters because it tells you that Tesla is not planning in a fantasy world where China does not matter. Tesla is building the moat precisely because China does matter. You do not build the kind of stack unless you believe that the competition will be brutal. The patent layer. Let's talk about the tangible proof, because this is where the story stops sounding straight out of fiction. Tesla has been quietly publishing patent filings around the world, and this is the hardest, ugliest, and least glamorous part of humanoid robotics, which is exactly what a serious robotics company should be doing. We can look at this patent called WO20240731338A1. It is the underactuated robotic hand filing. That sounds so dry and boring until you realize that robot hands are one of the nastiest bottlenecks in the entire humanoid category. A humanoid cannot grasp reliably, cheaply, and repeatedly without complex engineering. It is a demo. Tesla's filing is about cable-driven fingers, tendon routing, and reducing the mechanical headaches that make dexterous hands fragile and expensive. In one of the videos and demos shown by Tesla, you can see how cool and functional their robotic arm is. This filing is not even random paperwork. This is Tesla trying to solve one of the most commercially important problems in the whole category. There is another patent for the knee joint assembly. Again, the same boring name and same massive implications. Knees are not just about bending. A human, or the knee type stability, power, shock absorption, gait smoothness, durability, and even repair cost. If you want a robot that can move all day in a factory instead of collapsing into maintenance, that means that matters a lot. Tesla is patenting the architecture around the same problem. In the world of boring patents, there's one that stands out the most. That is not a boring one. There's this one patent for automated labeling for training data, including cases where the ecosystem can be a humanoid robot. There's a huge thing that Tesla is not trying to patent: pieces of the body. It is also patenting pieces of the learning loop. Once that starts happening, the mode becomes much harder to attack because competitors are not just trying to copy a machine. They are trying to copy the machine, plus the data pipeline that teaches the machine what to do. Do patents alone lock China out? Of course. Now, that is way too simple, but patents absolutely matter. They do. Well, first, they create friction for the direct limitation of the market that Tesla wants to dominate. Secondly, they tell you exactly where Tesla believes the value is going to concentrate. This includes hands, knees, actuators, and data labeling that is not a random list. That is the map of choke points. If you thought patents were the real advantage, wait till you see what's coming next. Subscribe now. The battery advantage. Now we get to the most unappreciated part of this whole strategy, which is power. We all know that BYD and other Chinese manufacturers have been making a lot of noise when it comes to their batteries. Humanoid robots are power problems that are disguised as an AI problem. Everyone loves to talk about vision, model autonomy, dexterity, and motion planning, but if the robot is too heavy, power-hungry, expensive to charge, or even limited in runtime, none of the flashy stuff matters. We saw it in the Beijing robot versus human marathon, where most of the robots got tied way too quickly thanks to all the overheating issues, and just fell. This is where Tesla starts getting unusually dangerous. In Tesla's 2025 annual report, the company says that it is capitalizing on its strength in real-world AI data to advance Optimus and also on its ability to effectively manufacture some battery cells. This is the most important sentence here. Tesla is basically telling you that it's not the robot plan that is leaning directly on its existing battery manufacturing advantage. It does not need to invent a power business for Optimus. It already has one. This is serious because most humanoid companies do not control battery production as Tesla does. They are optimized around suppliers, and they inherit the constraint of someone else's robot. Tesla does not have that sense of balance. It can co-design the robot with its cell strategy in mind. This is a very different place to be in if you're trying to scale to a huge number. Now, to be fair, Tesla is not invincible here. The rare earth magnet issue proved that when China tightened export controls on rare earth magnets, Musk admitted that Optimus production was affected too. This is not some perfect fortress that they have built. Tesla still has the supply chain exposure, but even that actually tells you something useful. In other words, Tesla and Elon Musk are close enough to real production that geopolitics around components are now showing an Optimus timeline. That means this is no longer hypothetical. It isn't as true. The chip strategy. And now let's talk about something that people should probably be paying most attention to. Tesla does not want Optimus to be a robot that runs on a generic computer. It wants the robot to run on a Tesla computer. In the Q4 2025 update, Tesla said the development of in-house AI5 and AI6 chips advanced during the quarter. The production plan for 2027 also said that the AI5 is targeting around 50 times the performance of AI4. There is no smaller upgrade. There is the kind of leap that changes when a robot can do on-device without constantly leaning on some external brain. Then came Q1 2026. Here, Tesla said it continued building the infrastructure and AI software that underpins both robotaxi and future robotics businesses while renting additional AI computers. Now that line matters because it tells you that the robot computer story is not separate from the dominant story. If Tesla gets to a point where the Optimus robot and future AI products are all riding on an internal inference roadmap, then competitors are not just behind the robot hardware. They are behind on the chip architecture that makes the hardware smarter, faster, and cheaper to run at scale. That is something not easy to catch up to, and Chinese companies are always struggling a lot due to a lot of sanctions around them. This is especially going to be Tesla's strong point if they can dual-source manufacturing across foundries and keep the software stack compatible across various chips. That is a 5-year part of the thesis right now. It is not that China cannot build a robot. Obviously, it can. The thesis is that Tesla could own a very specific high-value land where hardware inference and training are so tightly integrated that catching the body does not mean catching the system. The factory story. Then there's the thing Tesla has always cared about more than any other tech company, which is manufacturing. Tesla's Q4 2025 report says that Gen 3 Optimus is the first design intended for mass production. It says the first production line was being prepared, with production planned at the end of 2026 and eventual capacity aimed at 1 million robots per year. The number is obviously not where Tesla is today. You cannot even buy that Optimus if you want to just today, but it tells you the design target. Tesla is not designing Optimus like a boutique robotics product. It's designed like something that will eventually belong to every single home on a production curve. That is where a lot of robot companies get exposed. They build one beautiful machine, maybe 10, maybe 100, but building thousands and hundreds of thousands of humanoids is a completely different ballgame. Tesla has lived inside this sport for years. It understands line design, cost, down pressure, supplier pain, yield, and a lot of other things. Yes, China is incredible at manufacturing scale, probably better than the rest overall in this category right now. But Tesla's is not, we know how to manufacture. It is, we know how to design for manufacturing while also controlling more of the stack than most competitors. That is a very different kind of advantage. China is not asleep, and it is not logged out of robotics. Actually, it is probably doing a little bit better than the West right now. If Tesla gets it right, China can still win huge parts of the humanoid market, and Tesla can still win the most strategically valued part of it. This is what people mean when they talk about the moon. Who do you think wins this race? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video and got value from it, subscribe because we are covering this long-term battle every single week.